Well, I decided to put the radiator in. This is the radiator I was using with the 302 Ford motor. I'm going to reuse it. It's a really good rad, actually. Instead of a sprint car of all things, but it's a crossflow rad. It's a 2-core aluminum. Actually, it might be a 3-core, to be honest. It's pretty hefty. It is a little thicker than what you would put in here stock, so I had to make some allowances for that. You can see actually that the front edge of the truck, the rad support's been modified actually to make this radiator fit, so it's actually been trimmed back here to make room for the bracket. And this is this custom bent piece of steel actually that's kind of rusty, but that's what was in there, and I'm going to put that back. It actually has rubber in it to hold the radiator. So looking at this, I put the transmission bell housing in approximately the stock location. It might actually be sitting back maybe 1/8 of an inch from where the bolt holes are, but I can shove it back even farther, and I probably will. Just a question of what happens to my drive shafts when I do that, so we'll manage that as necessary. Doing a little measurement here, I have engine seems to be about 25.5 inches long from the bell housing to the front pulley. Maybe just a slightly longer on the upper pulley, but I think that's for the power steering, or sorry, for the hydraulic fan. And I'm stripping that off, so I measured it out 26 inches basically to the front of the motor and then to the radiator a little bit. By the way, you'll see there's a little bit of a mark on the front of that radiator or the back. That's where the bolts were for my pulley on the front of the Ford motor, and literally there was no room at all to get the bolts in and out. In fact, I had to pull the radiator to get the bolts even in. There was literally, the bolt heads were rammed into the back of the radiator. So it was a little tight in here. The only option I had with the Ford motor was to put a Cobra style drive pulley on the front of it, which is designed for a specific model of Cobra Mustang. And that wasn't cheap because it involved replacing the entire front water pump assembly and timing cover, which was worth more than I wanted to spend. So I've opted to put this motor in instead. Looking at what I have for a radiator fan, I just actually purchased this unit and it came in this week. And so it's about 3.5 inches thick. And doing the math based on where the radiator's sitting, I have about 1/4 inch. So it's also going to be tight. Now, mind you, that is a full-blown, puller fan on the back of the rad, and that's a fairly big one, so I should be in good shape with that. Do need something that will actually cool this truck down. It does sit around with a lot of stop and go traffic, and surprisingly warm here in the summertime. Very humid. So looking forward to getting that all set up. This actually will need a little bit of modification, as will the radiator, because the rad hoses are in the wrong spot, but it's worth it. I'm just going to cut the pipes off and move them accordingly on the tanks and patch it up. So they're doing a little aluminum welding at some point. And if I'm not comfortable with that, I'll get somebody else to do it. Bye for now.